everyone and welcome. My name is Kiara and today I'm going to be showing you how we are going to rig our hammock. I am going to go over hammock hitches and carabiners and all that good stuff, so stay tuned. So first starting off, here is my hammock. It is 5.5 meters. This is about 15 feet of hammock. This is like a very standard size hammock for regular rigging, for regular ceilings, etc. So what we're going to use today are two choke loops, or you can know these as hammock hitches. These are specifically made for aerial use. Depending on how your rigging is going to happen and what your aim is, you have to make sure that you're correctly rigging them with the right equipment. So these ones are going to suffice for me today, but it's really important to do your own research and make sure that your equipment is meeting your needs. So what I like to do is just kind of open up my fabric, and then I will take my hammock hitch and I can measure. Since I want my hammock fabric just a little bit lower than that though, I'm going to measure just a little bit farther to say about here, because I feel like that's a nice length for me so that my head, when I'm going upside down, I'm inverting, it's not going to be touching the ground. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab the edges and I'm just going to start to gather these edges. And you want to have a nice even kind of gather. So notice how my fabric is kind of curling on that edge. I want to make sure that I'm grabbing that edge, because when I go to rig this upside down, and I'll show you this this sort of test that I do to make sure that the hammock is rigged correctly, you want to make sure that both sides of the fabric are even. And that's just with the tails. So I'll show you what that means in just a second. All right, we got it. So this is the hammock tail. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see it very well, but this is about even. This would not be even. You see how there's like a piece here that's like a little bit closer and a piece here that's a little bit farther? You don't want that. You want everything to kind of match up in length. This is a little bit better. That's what you want, okay? So here's the tricky part. It really depends on what kind of equipment that you have. I highly recommend getting an S hook. It's a little hook that's shaped like an S. You can get it at a hardware store. It doesn't have to be specifically rated for aerial use, but it just helps you to get this through, and you'll see in a second. So I did that little measure, right? I'm gonna do 2 for myself. And what I'm gonna do is I'm kneeling on the fabric, and I'm gonna take that underneath the fabric, like so. Now, you can see that there's this little plastic piece on the hammock hitch. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lead that little plastic piece through the opposite piece, and hold like that, and I'm going to go around again, and then again, and I'm going to keep going until it gets really difficult for me to kind of bring it around. So this is the last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull really hard, and I'm going to try to get this through. If it doesn't work the first couple times, that's okay. This is a really tricky thing. Really challenging to get, but you do it a couple times, it really helps you to work on your grip strength. So this is what you want eventually. This little plastic piece is through, and there's not a lot of slack from these 2 pieces. That means that this hammock is nice and secure, it's nice and choked. We're gonna do the other side. I'm gonna measure. That works. And then I'm going to gather these little pieces up together. And yet again, watch that edge and make sure that you're keeping those pieces, see, tried to trick me, keeping those pieces very even. It's best if you really spread this out so you can really see it. I only have so much space on this blanket. All right, here we are. So check out these tails. This is a good example. You don't want something that's half up and then half down. You want it to be basically the same height, all right? So, I got my hammock hitch here. I'm gonna kneel on my fabric. Let's see, what do I wanna do here? Okay. So, plastic piece is away from me. I'm gonna pull it, and I'm gonna lead the plastic piece in between the two loops and pull it tightly. Wrap it around, like so again, and through. You keep doing this. This is the third time. You'd think that this is enough, but you want another one. So give it a nice big pull. All the way around and through. Now this is where you would take that S hook and kind of grab that little piece and pull it through to make it really easy. I'm fairly tough. No, I'm not really tough. I just like things the hard way, and I don't have an S hook. So this one of course is gonna give me the problems. And there you have it. That's exactly what I want. So now I have my two choke loop / hammock hitch fabric tails. All right, so let's talk some more equipment. This is a carabiner, and this carabiner is specifically made for aerial. I did not go and buy this carabiner from Dick's or anything like that. This is specifically from an aerial company. And the cool thing about this is that this is a locking carabiner, so I can open and close this, and then I can give it a little bit of a swivel up, then try to open it again and it won't open. This is a really great safety feature that I highly recommend everyone to get for their aerial practice. There are a couple different kinds of carabiners, and there's an auto-locking one, there's a bunch of different kinds. I prefer this one especially for my aerial practice, but your aerial practice might be a little bit different. The best thing to do is to do some research and to know what exactly you're getting yourself into, especially when it is in terms of height and all that sort of stuff. You can get very, very specific and into it. If you're rigging from higher ceilings, I highly recommend talking to somebody who does this professionally, a professional rigger. Additionally, here is a daisy chain. Now these daisy chains are yet again made for aerial use. These are really great for customizing the size and height of your hammock. See how they have lots of different loops. These are really, really great for helping you to add a little bit of give to your fabric. If you rig right onto a metal apparatus or something like that, so like a metal hook, sometimes there's not a lot of give in the fabric, and the fabric can feel a lot tighter and a lot more squeezier on your body, which, you know, depending on what you're looking for, that might be what you want, but I prefer a little extra give. All right, so let's rig this thing. So here we are at my crooked rig. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my one carabiner, which I attached to that little choke loop. I'm gonna put it on. Then I'm gonna swing one over the top and then just give it a nice little clip. So you can leave this like this, but when you're grabbing, you don't want so many things to kind of like be able to hit you in the face. So what I like to do is a little bit of housekeeping. I'll take the end of this daisy chain, and I'll do once, and then twice. Something to make sure of is that your clip is clipped all the way. So if it's stuck on the fabric, you need to really make sure that that is clipped all the way. And then you'll slide up your little swivel, give it a little squeeze test, and then you'll do the other side. So same thing, up and over, once, twice, 3 times. Hey, you. Make sure it's not stuck on the fabric. Tighten, squeeze test. Now, I like to do a little cleanup situation because when I'm grabbing onto my fabric, I want to make sure that I'm actually grabbing onto the apparatus and not the tails. The tails can get a little confusing. And when you're up there and you're making really nice shapes, you don't want to be like, am I grabbing the right thing? It takes a little bit too much mental capacity. So what I like to do, hold it, thumb pointing down, wrap my hand, and pull it through. Same thing, fairly easy. Wrap, and pull it through. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.